Yes, sir, Wagwan. This your boy, brother Noom, sitting out of building. Sports Time Zone podcast. Once again, the only sports show bringing you two different generation perspective on sports. Salute and shout out to my man TZ Dave. TZ couldn't make it right now. He might jump in here a little bit later. TZ got some things going on. You know that's a wild boy. TZB. You know, he be in them streets doing his thing out there, get dope content and all of that for us. So shout out to you, TZ. We know you here in spirit. Also, salute to everybody out there that's been showing love, man. Make sure y'all keep on showing love. Hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe button. Complete the support for us. You know what I'm saying? We got over 100 YouTube subscribers last week. We had that celebration, so we appreciate that. Y'all keep on running up them numbers so we can get to our next goal of over 250 by the end of the summer. So we're going to try to make that happen, and definitely we're going to get it in. This is, of course, the NBA Finals. So, you know, we want to send a special salute to fans of all the teams for the NBA season, not just the teams in the finals, but a special shout out to the Boston Celtics fans, as well as the Dallas Maverick fans that are sticking with your team and supporting your team. Also, goodlifeclothing.com, KE Creations, Gene Hennigan, all of y'all, if y'all looking for merch, if y'all looking for anything with graphic design, graphic art, y'all make sure y'all holler at any of them people down low at the bottom. They take care of me and they'll take care of y'all too. So, but yeah, man, this is a very, very special episode of the Sports Time Zone show. Like we always do, we want to make sure that we represent teams from all over the place. We got a couple of dope guests coming to the stage today. One of the guests, very familiar, already been a part of the show a couple of times, so we definitely want to welcome him back. But for the very first time ever, the Sports Time Zone will have its very first Boston Celtics fan joining the stage. And I'm really excited to hear from this gentleman, this brother, very, very well represented and well respected brother that we're going to have on the stage, as well as my man LP. So first and foremost, we're going to bring to the stage someone who y'all are familiar with here at the Sports Time Zone, longtime New York Knicks lifer, New York Knicks fan, New York ambassador, New York Giants, New York everything, New York, what up, son? New York, what up, dun. New York, what up, my guy? You New York, yo, where that pizza at, son? New York to the heart, to the core. Orange and blue skies, orange and blue, all that. Our team rival, but my good friend, LP. Welcome back to the Sports Time Zone, my brother.
Yo, what up, brother Dupsy? What's good? Thanks for having me again. Yo, we're going to represent. You already know, baby.
Let's get it. That intro I gave you. You like that intro?
I like
that. You like it? You like it? Like my grandma used to say, I like it.
That's New York City at its finest. That's how we do it, baby.
At its finest to the core, man. Yeah, definitely. Thanks for joining us once again. Next guest, like I said, man, haven't had a Boston Celtic fan here before, so this is a very exciting moment for us to bring this brother to the stage. We got a lot of questions that I got for him, and I'm looking forward to hearing a lot of his responses. So without further ado, longtime Boston Celtic fan, Boston lifer, my man Nez, welcome to the Sports Time Zone, my brother. Come on to the stage, man. Appreciate you for being here.
What's happening? What's happening? What's up, brother Newton? Thanks for having me. What's up, LP? What's going on, man?
What's popping, Nez? What's popping, yo? What's good?
Man, I'm so happy to be a part of this, man. Y'all don't even know, man. But that game last night, man, I was ready to throw up. But
yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because we about to get right into it. We're gonna jump straight in head first. That game last night. Let's talk about that a little bit. Man, last night.
That's why I got my liquor. That's why I got my liquor with me already. I'm ready to talk about it.
You got the sippy cup there. And LP, man, anytime you want to jump in here, man, feel free to do so. Thing about us three, before we even get started, we all got history. Our teams have history against each other. You know, the New York Knicks and the Miami Heat, we've had some historic rivalry games from the 90s going back to, you know, the Allen Houstons and the Spreewells and going up against the Tim Hardaways, Alonzo Mourning, the Jamal Mashburn, the Sean Leonard.
PJ Brown flipping Charlie Ward like that.
PJ Brown flipped Charlie Ward. I'll never forget that. And then your boy Van Gundy grabbing on Alonzo's leg and trying to pull. Like Alonzo could have got injured. I mean, we ain't gonna go too far into that.
Right.
But that was dangerous. You don't jump on somebody's leg.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. I agree. Not at all. He was wilding out on
You
that.
got suspended for that. You do that nowadays, and they'll suspend you for like a whole season. The game has definitely changed. And then the Boston Celtics and the New York Knicks, y'all got a crazy rivalry going way back to the early days of the NBA. Maybe
That's what I like to say. The Knicks and Boston are the only two NBA teams that played each other the most since 1946. That's what they're the oldest NBA team. So no other teams in the league have played against each other more than New York and Boston. So those are the first entry teams into the league, 1946. So it goes back.
Good nugget of history. Good nugget. Go ahead, Naz.
Yo, I was gonna say the beautiful thing about that is that those are two hard-nosed cities, blue collar. You got your niggas over here. You got, sorry, brother, it's my damn cat again. You got, you know what I mean? They got, you know what I mean? You got the 5 boroughs in New York, but then Boston got like Dorchester, Roxbury, Mattapan. You know what I mean? And it's like it's two synonymous but very different cities, but when it comes to like sports and getting down, Boston, New York that's the two states, man, 2 cities,
No doubt about it. And then lastly, the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics have faced each other in the conference finals 4 times in the last like 5 years or so. It's been back and forth. We alternate. 1 year in the bubble, we won the Eastern Conference Finals and beat the Celtics. The year after that, the Celtics beat us in the conference finals. And then last year, we beat the Boston Celtics in the conference finals. We were up 3-1, and y'all came back and took us to a game 7, but we still ended up winning game 7. And then this year, you guys won. So it's been back and forth between the Heat and the Celtics in the conference finals for like the last 5 years.
Yeah, what's so crazy is I know you probably noticed, I know you probably noticed too, LP, but it was news to me. I didn't know that LeBron and Bosh and Wade were supposed to go to New York.
No, exactly. I do know that because that was the plan. And even Melo was supposed to jump in on that, but he was still under contract with Denver at the time. And that's why, because really, Bosh wasn't even supposed to be in that original 3. It's supposed to be Melo, LeBron, and D. Wade. Bosh came later on because Melo couldn't get out of his Denver contract to get to New York. But the other 2 guys were available, D. Wade and LeBron. But, since Melo couldn't get out of his deal, then they brought Bosh in as that 3rd person. That was how it was really, because Melo spoke on this before. Melo broke all this down. It was supposed to be New York, though. That was the city they were going to choose, or the destination they were going to go.
Supposed to be, could have been, should have been, could have, would have. We could talk all the shoulda, coulda, wouldas that we want. But the bottom line is, them boys ended up in the 305. Them boys ended up with the beautiful beaches of South Beach, and they brought us 2 championships in 4 years. So I think they made the right choice. But of course, I'm going to say that we made the right choice. So,
but everybody's scared to come to New York because they know what the requirement is going to be to play in that place. 41 games at the Garden all year, the media capital of the world, the most famous arena. Cats know what time it is if you're going to step on that New York floor. That's what it is.
See, I know that's what y'all want to believe. Boy, you New Yorkers, boy. Y'all are something else. Let y'all tell it, that I'm going to leave it alone for now, but we're going to be back to that. But let's get into this game 4 last night between the Dallas Mavericks and your Boston Celtics, Nez. I'm going to say my little piece on this, and then I want you to give your contribution as far as what you feel like, what went wrong for you guys, what caused for you not to be able to sweep, because Dallas was not getting swept on their home floor. And I noticed last night the effort. This was the best version of the Dallas Mavericks that I think that we're going to see or that we have seen. Now, can they sustain it for 3 more games to try to win this series? That's beyond me. But this was the best version of the Dallas Mavericks. Reason being is they played with more effort last night. I saw more effort in Dallas than I've seen from them for the rest of the entire series. Lively and Gafford. Yeah, Lively and Gafford were more active on the glass than I'd ever seen them before, and they got more lobs. I saw more lobs last night than I've seen in the entire series. And I see you over there shaking your head over there, but you got to admit that the effort, it was there for Dallas last night that wasn't really there before for them. And they just wanted to avoid getting swept on their home floor. So outside of that, I ain't going to take too much of that stage here from you, but outside of that, Nez, being a Boston Celtic fan, what do you attribute to that loss last night for you guys and not being able to seal the deal and close it out last night with the sweep? What happened? First you and then LP chime in.
Well, you know
Take
what? You know what?
You probably need another sip before you explain this, because y'all boys thought y'all was finna go and sweep them Dallas boys, and them D-Town boys was not having it. And I know while you was watching that game, you was taking a lot of sips and a lot of shots. So go ahead, let us hear this. What?
LP and I always text, and we were texting. And he was like, "Y'all should do it tonight." And I was like, "Hopefully," because anytime this man and I talk, I never talk that shit. Right now, I'm always like, "Well, we'll see, we'll see." Patriots fan. Even though we had Tom Brady, we'll see. Right. We'll see. And it was funny because I had that feeling, man. I should have bet money, because if I'd have bet money, I wouldn't be poor right now. I would be on the beach right now doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? Instead of my apartment and shit, Right. I just seen it coming. I was like, okay. I mean, like, come on, bro. We know that Kyrie and Luka don't play no damn defense. Why are we talking about these dudes, man? They don't play no doggone defense.
Right.
Like offensively, they'll murder us. But they don't play defense. My team just looked flat. Like, if I felt like somebody walked in and was like, "Let me tell y'all something. Lose tonight, and then Monday we get to the bean. We're gonna take these niggas lunch." You know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I seen it coming a mile away, man. I seen it coming a mile away. It hurt my heart because I'm talking to L in my head. I'm like, it would be so nice to take this title right in Dallas and be like, yeah, your mother. But then I was like, no, we got to do it back in the town.
Right.
And then they just wasn't having it because they were talking bad about Luka on ESPN. And then I know he got, what is he, Russian or something? So, he's Ukraine. Like, we going to war.
Yeah, I don't know what he is, man.
He's one of them heathens over there. Like, he's like, we're going to war with my people. So I gotta drop 50
overseas. Shout out to Slovenia, everybody overseas who might be tapping in. He ain't Russian.
Slovenian. Okay, I get it confused.
That's crazy.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
Yeah, no, we really don't. Well, he be speaking something. I don't even know what he be speaking. LP, what is your thoughts of the game last night? I got a text from you too. You were saying, hey, this might be Dallas's only little one hurrah. But let's just talk about this. Talking about last night's game only. What did you notice as far as what caused Dallas to turn up? And what was the key factors for them winning that game last night?
So I'm going to start with this, Brother Noops. You already know where I'm going. NBA politics, baby. They got to stretch.
You always start with the politics.
Because the NBA got to be money. Even Austin Rivers was talking about it. He said just what I said on NBA Game Time or whatever it was on ESPN. He said the NBA, man, they got to make money off these games. They got to stretch this series. I've been saying this from the beginning of the NBA playoffs, and I knew realistically that Boston was never going to sweep Dallas. I never felt they were going to do that. I felt that Dallas was going to get one win, especially when they went up 3-0. I think a lot of people thought, okay, it's going to be a sweep. But I just, I knew Dallas was going to play desperation basketball. That's really what it was. They played like their lives depended on it, and it did. I mean, they had to play like that. I don't, like you said, Brother Noopy, I don't think they can carry that over, though, for 3 games. And I don't think they're going to beat Boston in Game 5 because I think Boston understands they can't give Dallas no confidence. So they're going to just shut it down in Boston. I just feel like they'll shut it down in Boston, and that'll be it. But no, they just played desperate. They played like the team that was just, they were in desperation mode. They wanted it more. They played with more energy. And then Lucas stopped whining to the refs, and I think that's what happens too, when kind of like with the Carlisle thing with the Knicks, when somebody cries and whines so much, then the next game the refs are going to ref it a different way. That's what I think happened. And then I just think Boston just came out flat. I think Boston knew, hey, we got a game in our back pocket, and they already know they're in full control. I don't think they just didn't come out with the energy to want to close it. To me, that's what it was. They didn't come out they wanted to close it.
To your point, sticking with Luka, one thing that stood out to me, and I get what you're saying about, everything, the politics, y'all made some really great points. Boston came out flat. They know that they got in the back pocket. But one thing that I noticed that was different about Luka in this game last night was that Luka was extremely efficient. He didn't waste any possessions. In these prior games, from games 1, 2, and 3, there were several times where Luka threw a behind the back pass and just chucked it into the third row. Or he just, would try to throw a lead pass to start a fast break, and then he would just overthrow the receiver that's trying to get the. So there was none of that, Luka. It wasn't the flashy Luka that I'm going to try to throw behind the back. I'm going to try to come down and throw these overhand passes, and it wasn't that Luka. Every single possession was Luka efficiency. He would get to his spot immediately, make his move, and then score the basket or get rid of the ball. I didn't see any of that indecisive Luka or that, the young Luka that was careless with the ball and turned the ball over a lot. His efficiency was at a high level. I don't know what his numbers were as far as his field goal percentage, but I do know that there was a few times where he would take Jrue Holiday down on the low block and immediately go over his shoulder and score. He wasn't hesitant. He wasn't indecisive. Kyrie Irving was a lot more under control than I've seen him before. Game 1, 2, and 3, Kyrie was pressing. Like, let's just keep it a buck. That Kyrie that we saw from game 1, 2, and 3 was not a Kyrie that we were used to seeing throughout the regular season and for the first portion of the playoffs. This Kyrie Irving seemed to be more under control. He didn't immediately attack the defender when he knew he had a inferior defender. He surveyed the court a lot more. He was a little bit more patient. He took time with his jump shot. He got into the lane, and instead of just went for, these miraculous Kyrie crazy layups, he was actually going up with two hands instead of these one-hand layups and these one-hand hooks and curls. And Kyrie, to me, was a little bit more under control. And Jason Kidd just seemed to finally be able to figure out how to run his plays and his offense. I don't know what they were doing with just isolating the ball with Kyrie and isolating with Luka, but it just seemed like he got more of his team involved than what he did before. So those were some of the things that I noticed as far as that. But yeah, so let me ask you this too, Nez, being that you are a Celtic fan. Last week we had a conversation and a discussion where some people were saying, in my opinion, I still think that Jaylen Brown is better than Jason Tatum. Now, you being a Boston Celtic fan and probably watching a lot more Celtic basketball than I ever would in my lifetime, how do you see that? Do you see one being as better than the other, or do you see them pretty much being kind of on an even playing field? Do you see Jason Tatum being better? Who do you see is better between Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum? And then LP, you piggyback on that and give your response.
It's funny you asked that because I was thinking about that the other day. I work with around a lot of young people, and we have these conversations, and it's let me talk about JT, and then I'm gonna go to JB. I'll keep it short. JT just seems like he's the golden child, right? Like he's the one that because in Boston it's all about the guy, right? We had our Antoines, we had Larry, we had everybody, right? Then we had Antoine, then we had Paul, then we had our big three, right? And then then we got this young boy, we got JT, and it's like, he trained with Kobe. You know what I mean? You watch him play.
The purple wristband. He would wear the purple wristband that Kobe gave him in games.
Take that shit off. Because you ain't Kobe. You ain't Kobe. Kobe's a killer. Listen, if that was Kobe last night, Kobe would have dropped 100 on them. Kobe would have been like, yo, you don't have to carry me out on a stretcher, because I'm putting up 100 on y'all. See, and that's the thing. That's the thing I don't like about that. It's like, yo, remove the Kobe away from this dude and just be you, but have the influence, right? We don't even see the influence. We don't see Killer. I don't see Killer when I see him. Now with JB, let's keep it a buck now. For 3 seasons, they were shopping this kid. Remember that LP? They were shopping him.
Yeah.
They were trying to see what they can get for him. And then I'm sorry.
No, my fault. Naz, that's not to interrupt, but that's what I was telling brother.
Okay.
Last week's show, the Knicks were trying to get JB at one point.
They sure were. I became a Knicks fan. I've been a Knicks fan,
and I thought we were going to get him, but it didn't happen. But you're right. The Celtics were stopping them though. They were doing feelers out there, seeing what was out there.
Didn't make no sense to me. Didn't make no sense.
So basically, you're saying that Jaylen Brown has more of that killer instinct and that dog in him, and Jaylen and Jason Tatum doesn't seem to have that killer instinct. So would you say that Jason Tatum is more skilled of the two? Because he did work with Kobe. He did train under Kobe. He does have the footwork. It does seem like his fundamentals are there, but that killer instinct, that clutch gene, seemed to have escaped him. I see more of that in Jaylen Brown than I see in Tatum.
I'll take the killer over the finesse any day.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you remember, right, bro? I know you remember. I remember Snoopsy and LP. Remember last year, they were like, JB ain't got no left hand. JB don't have no left hand. He's going left every time. He's hitting you up at the top of the key, going left and going by you. Left-handed layups, two-handed dunks. Like JB, you could. There's something of listen, man. There's something about us, about a so-called black, so-called black man. We ain't black, but I mean, like, something about us, man. You tell us one, you try to make us feel like we ain't good enough, and then you tell us, excuse me, that was my cat. Then you tell us that something's wrong with us, and then we said, oh, so now you don't want me, and now I'm not good enough. So let me go show you. Let me take this time. Let me not go to Cancun and be around these hoes and these niggas. Right. Let me go work. And now we're seeing product of that. That's why I'm saying I'll take JB over JT all day, because that killer, that determination, that little tap on the shoulder, being like, yo, they don't want you.
Yeah.
What? Yo, they don't want you, kid. And they saying you ain't got no left hand. Like, what? All of a sudden, he in the gym, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hand tied behind his back, going up and down the court like we did when we was kids, right?
Yeah.
Man, I mean, I will say JT is very skilled, but I'll take JB. I'll take JB, man. There's just something in that kid's eyes, man. You know what I mean? There's something in that kid's eyes. He's very much us. Like, he wants to take care of the community. So he wants to go back into the city and start, like, helping things in the city. So I'll take that dude all day, man. There's something about the kid that I just like. There's something about you telling us that we can't do something, and then watching us go over that you gotta applaud,
Well, he definitely seems a lot more accessible than Jason Tatum does. So accessibility is huge. I get what you're saying also with the killer instinct. I see that in Jaylen Brown. When we play against the Celtics, I fear Jaylen Brown a lot more than I fear Jason Tatum.
He's the sleeper.
Yeah, Tatum can come and go. Sometimes, he's there. Sometimes he's not, especially in the playoffs. But Jaylen Brown, you always know what you're going to get. That's my opinion. LP, you say what on that topic?
Yo, man, I touched on it on the last episode. I feel like I'm a Jaylen Brown guy. I like Jason Tatum, but he shoots too many jump shots for me, man. He just jacks up. And his skill set, he should be going to the basket because he got the ability to go to the basket and finish. But he don't do it, man. Jaylen Brown will rise up and dunk on you. Like, that's what I like. Dunk on you. He'll embarrass you. He don't mind going to the basket, and he can shoot jumpers. But he don't just live for the jump shot, though. He mixes his game up real good. I think if Tatum could mix his game up a little more like that, then he'd be right there. But they're both complementary complementary of each other. That's why I didn't understand the whole. They were trying to do a whole divide and saying they couldn't coexist, and one needs to get traded. And like Ned's point, that's when they were like, "Yo, we're gonna shop Brown around or see." And the Knicks were interested at one point. Knicks were like, "Yo, we," and the Knicks got the money. Knicks always got the money.
Sure, so there you go again. There your blood clot New York boys go again. They always find a way to make it about New York.
No. But no, to your point, brother Newsy, man. I mean, I like Jaylen Brown. I mean, I like them both. I like Tatum too. I really do. He just shoots too many jumpers. But I like Jaylen Brown though. If I had to pick out of the two, I'd go with Jaylen Brown. I just like his game, and like Nez said, he does a lot of stuff for the Boston community. He's not from Boston, but he lives there. He plays for the team, so he got that like little clothes store he got in there and all of that. He's a real conscious guy, with his culture, with the community. I like brothers like that. So he's real into what's going on in Boston and all of that. So I like Jaylen Brown. I really do. I think he's part of the Players Association. I think he's one of the guys that's at Players Association, him and Chris Paul and all that. So, you know, I like Jaylen Brown. I really do. But that's who I would pick, Jaylen Brown, me personally.
So it sounds like we all in agreement with that. You know, the three of us, we all agree with that statement. My man TZD, Dave, I know you watching. You got out there doing other things. Dave swears that Jason Tatum is better than Jaylen Brown. But again, the three of us represent, you know, a certain generation. It seems like we're all part of the OG generation. Dave is a part of the new generation. He's a lot younger. So from a younger fan's eyes, I guess they look at the finesse and they look at the skill and they look at the Kobe band and they look at all of that and they put it together as, you know, Jason Tatum being better. But, you know, everybody has opinions, but that's how I feel. Now, quickly, one thing that I did notice about Boston in this particular series, and I do want both of y'all's input on this as well. It seemed like Boston, it's like when they make a conscious effort to attack and not settle for jump shots, when they make their conscious effort, speaking of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, whether it be either of them, when they make their mind up that they're in attack mode and going downhill, which I saw in games 1, 2, and 3, they're virtually unstoppable. Nez, as a Boston Celtic fan, even though you guys led the league in 3-point attempts, y'all shot more threes than anybody else this season. Do you notice a difference in your team when you have the aggressive mindset to attack the basket versus settle for those threes?
Bruh, we've all played basketball. We've all know how it is. We all know high percentage shots are closer to the hoop. We all know that once you get to the hoop, you get that and one, it makes things different. You keep getting them and ones, you keep getting to the free. See, I don't understand. I don't understand pro basketball, man. Like, it's still about hitting the free throw line. It's still about getting the team to foul out. It's still about getting into the penalty. It's still about all those different things, right? And it's like when that's why I love JB, because JB he's already going like, I'm gonna dunk on everybody here. I don't care if my grandmama's underneath doing.
But you guys were a dominant team all year by shooting the 3-point basket. You guys led the league in that, and you were the number one team in basketball pretty much for all of the season. So you saying that was fool's gold?
No, I'm just saying that, you know, you live by the sword, you die by the sword, right? So I'm saying, like, yeah, okay, shoot your threes, nigga. But at the same time, it's like I like seeing dunks. I like seeing people get to the rack and lay it in. I like seeing, like, you know, it's about that, excuse me. And you New York Knickers, y'all know it's about that physicality, man. You know what I'm saying? He's about getting up in there. You two dudes, like, they bumping bodies and then boom, like, it's like, man, I hear you, Doomsy. We shot more threes. I mean, come on, man. We shot more threes than everybody. You know what I mean? But it's something about taking a team's hot when you just keep going and dunking on them. You keep going in and dunking on them. Dunking on them. Niggas will get out of the way. They'll get out the they'll get dunked on.
don't want to cut you, but I know y'all.
on.
I know y'all heard that Boston accent when he said taking the team's hot. I love it. I heard the Beantown. I heard the Boston. It came out. Get out the car. Get the team's hot. Yeah.
Yeah, listen, man. Listen, man. Like, you know,
you made excellent points there. Excellent point with that, man. LP, what you think of that? Have you noticed Boston being a different animal when they attack the basket more, or did you? Or how do you see that attack and that game plan and how they play when they attack the basket?
No, absolutely, man. I'm always a fan. Kind of like Nez said, I always believe in going to the basket. That's old school. Like he said, New York City, go to the rim. So, no, man, that's what I'm saying with Jaylen Brown. When he goes to the basket, he goes with a vengeance, man. He goes in there like he's ready to tear that rim down. And I like that mentality, man. I mean, like Nez said, shoot the threes. I know they led the league in threes. They jack a lot of threes. I don't, Tatum shoots way too many again. But no, man, when they're going good things that happen, man. You're either gonna get the bucket or you're gonna get fouled, get to the free throw line, gonna put the other team in the penalty at some point, and then boom, that's it. Changes the game. And then you can mix it up and shoot the threes, but don't just be like a Golden State and just live on the three. And Golden State kind of set the precedent for that whole jack three. That's what everybody kind of wanna do, that blueprint, but not everybody got a Steph Curry on the team like that. So I believe in mixing it up, man. Like even the Knicks were a good 3-point shooting team too this year, but when Boston goes to the rim and they go to the rim looking to score, good things happen, man. Good things happen. So yeah, I like what I think they'll have more success going to the rim, getting fouled, putting another team in the penalty, and then they can mix up their 3-point shot. That mix it up a little bit. That's what I think.
Excellent point. Good points, fellas, on that. I agree with both of y'all. If they can mix in the 3-ball along with attacking the basket more, then they're a perfectly balanced team. And it hurts me to say this because, again, Boston is the rival for the Heat. But, man, you guys look unstoppable when you play that way. I didn't see it too much last night, but when you play that way, virtually unstoppable. So I got a couple of questions that came in from some of our followers and also members of Heat Nation, which I represent. But we all have some connection with the Boston Celtics in some kind of way, whether it be that we played against them, whether it be that we know of them, or whatever the case is. But from Heat Nation, one of questions from a follower, Bob Z, he has a question for a Celtic fan asking, what does Kristaps Porzingis add to the team, seeing that you guys have proven that you can win without him? I'll go with you, Nez, on that, being that you're the resident Celtic fan here. So how do you respond to Bob Z's question about Kristaps Porzingis and what value he adds to the team?
Yo, Bob asked the question I asked him. I was asking myself this morning. They're saying he might come back for game whatever. I don't know, game 20. I have no idea what the fuck is going on. He might come back, and I was sitting back and I'm like, okay, we did all this without this dude. You know what I mean? We did all this without him. Right? All this without him, right? But you know what? And this is one thing I want to talk. I'm so glad we're having this conversation, because I personally think that the Celtics should run a triangle offense. Like, because I was sitting back here and I listened to John Sally. John Sally was talking to someone about LeBron, and he was breaking down why Jordan was better. He said, we ran an offense. He goes, we ran a triangle offense, and that offense helped us be great. And I'm sitting back and I'm thinking like, yep, Phil Jackson ran the triangle in Chi-Town, and then he ran it in LA, right? And I'm like, damn, if we ran a triangle, it'd be dope. I don't know about Porzingis, man. For me, I'm old school, bro. We need boards. If you're gonna shoot threes, we need people rebounding. If you're gonna do that, we need them both. So you're gonna shoot threes, somebody gotta rebound. Porzingis is what? Is he a power forward or is he a center? You don't even know anymore. Is he a 5 or is he a 4? What is he?
He's 7'3". In from where I'm from, anything that's 7'3" is a center. I don't care if you call it a stretch center or what, but yeah, I think he's a center. That's just me.
Because when the Knicks drafted him, we drafted him as a center, as the third pick. from whatever country he's from. I forgot where he's from.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't know either.
Yeah. But he's a center.
Yeah. Someplace that smells.
One of those smelly places like that. One of those smelly places. But yeah, no, okay, good answer. So you've answered Bob's question, and Bob, he's definitely going to tune in, and he's going to drop your response in the comment section, Bob. And if that answer is satisfactory, or if you have a follow-up question, and we can bring Nez back on, and we'll ask him. Next question is from my man Ian. Ian from Heat Nation asked, I like this one. Do you think that Jimmy Butler made Tatum and Brown better from their battles over the last few years?
Yes. He's the equivalent of what the Pistons were to Jordan, right? Mm-hmm. Like you remember when the Pistons were all about killing you. The Pistons wanted to beat your ass. Same thing with New York. They wanted to beat you up. They didn't give a damn who you were. Jordan would come through with all that fly, and they'd be like, "Yeah, okay, shoot two." Yeah. And then when Jordan came back that third year after the Pistons won 2, put on like 15 pounds of muscle, and the first time they threw him down, the dude jumped right up and was like, they were like, "Oh, this is a problem." Yeah, I think Jimmy. You heat. It's
the way he worded the question. I'm just reading it the way he worded the question.
You heat, I mean, oh man, I think Jimmy Buckets is dope. But yeah, he brings out that edge. He does when he shows up.
He does seem to turn up against you Celtics. I mean, LP and I have this going conversation about Jimmy Butler, where LP says that Butler is sometimey. He picks and chooses when he wants to play hard. But LP, what you have to admit is that when he plays the Celtics, he plays the Celtics. That's one of them times where he gets up for the Celtics. If not for no other team, he does get paused. He gets up for the Celtics for sure. Like you gotta at least admit that.
No. I admit that, man. And that's what I'm saying, though. I feel like, Brother Newsom, we've had these convos. I don't think Jimmy Butler's a true star because he don't operate and conduct as a true star. Like you said, true star, Kevin Durant don't this sometime, or LeBron, or all these other guys. No, they come hard every night. And that phrase that Jimmy said years ago, that the first 60 games, I don't really, it's not to the last 22 where I start really playing. Man, I hated that comment, man. Don't that, man. Why would you say that, man? Like, he should have just said that to himself, man. He should have not even said that publicly like that. And that just shows the point of what I'm saying. He's a sometimey guy. He ain't going to try 60 games. Then they shouldn't pay you for 60 games. They should just pay you for 22 if that's how you're going to have that mentality like that. Because maybe if he tried hard, like he said he's not, then he could see what he could really be for 82 games instead of just the last 22. I don't want no cat like that, man. But you're right. He do play hard against the Celtics, and he does play hard against the Knicks. But I mean, I don't know, man. He ain't on that level like that. To me, he's like a third-tier superstar to me. He's not.
Oh my God! Yo, the disrespect.
He said third tier.
Hey, Heat Nation, y'all get in these comments and get on LP for that one. Like third tier superstar, that's the disrespect.
Yo, Brother Noopsy, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, man. You know how I feel about you, dude. And then he said those whack ass comments when he's hurt, talking about, oh, I'd have gave it to Boston, I'd have gave it to New York. I'm like, you're not even on the court, yo.
That's like confidence. That's the confidence of Jimmy. But I didn't approve of those statements either. So,
but old school superstars know Magic wouldn't have did nothing like that. Jordan would have did nothing like that. KD, like top guys wouldn't have never said that. They
wouldn't have done nothing like that. No.
Say, hey,
I'm sorry.
We're gonna come back next year, and we're gonna come next year. But he had to say that, and even Pat Riley. And to be honest with you, I don't think Miami's gonna give him that extension. Honestly, I really don't, because Pat Riley, in so many ways, was saying you need to be on the floor more. We need to see more. I mean, yeah, you got to the finals twice, but that's 0-2. I don't think they're gonna pay him, to be honest. They may work something, but he ain't gonna get that big extension like he wants. I wouldn't do it if I was, and I don't think they're motivated to do it, Pat Riley and them.
Yeah, I agree somewhat about that with his contract, and we're gonna have a special episode where we're talking about free agent signings. I want to make sure you join in. Go ahead, Nez, respond to that. Jump in.
I have two things. One, I didn't like when he came out and he had the hair pressed like he was DJ Quick. I was like, all right, that's enough. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. One his nails painted too, bro.
I don't understand nothing Jimmy Butler does with his hair, his nails, and none of that. Like, I ain't got nothing to say about that.
He's not getting an extension. He ain't getting no extension. I don't want nobody on my team looking like that. What are you talking about? What is this? What is going on here? Are we trying to win championships, or are you trying to get on the cover of Vanity Fair? Get out of here.
Nez. I agree with you, Nez. I told Brother Noopsy about that a while back with that whole perm, and then he talked about when it was the beginning of the season, talking about, I'm in my emotions. What are you talking about as a grown man talking about you in emotions?
My
homegirl tried to talk to me about that today. She's like, well, tell me how you feel. I was like, grown men don't feel. Like, we talk from facts. Like, there's no feeling. I'm in my emotions. You know what? Take your emo ass over to who's emo? Go to Denver somewhere. Go to San Antonio. Go to Dallas if you want to be emo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is Miami. Like, that's why you gotta respect Miami, yo. You got old school Ronnie Cycli, you got Alonzo, you got everybody down there. And you got Pat Riley running the helm. Come on, man. We're talking about a legend here. And then you're gonna come out with your hair pressed. If you would have came out with your hair pressed, at least play as you're walking out on the stage being like, oh yeah, I've been bumping a lot of Quick. I've been in my West Coast stuff. You know what I'm saying? Not in my emotions.
If Jimmy, every year Jimmy does something crazy in minicamp with the hair. One year it was the extension dreads. The next year it was like the perm looking thing. The next year, he had the Disney, the Mickey Mouse 2 puffs going in. Like I ain't feeling none of that Jimmy is into when it comes to this. I don't even like the fact that he's in the Bad Boy movie. I don't think Will Smith and Martin Lawrence should have Jimmy doing scenes and shooting scenes for a movie when Jimmy wasn't even healthy enough to be on the court for us to help us.
He's not in the movie, though. He's not in the movie.
He's not. Okay,
No,
that's a commercial.
Yeah,
he shouldn't be shooting commercials either. Like, you shouldn't be out here shooting commercials and you playing commercials in the NBA playoffs when you're supposed to be on the court. I see Jimmy in commercials more than I see him on the court. So that's frustrating. As a Heat fan that got eliminated in the first round and were hobbled into the playoffs, that is not a good look for me. And I know my Heat Nation fans are going to get on me. They're like, no, but you're supposed to support Jimmy. I do support Jimmy, but if he ain't on the court to help us play, then it's not going to make it for me. It's not going to make it. So, Jimmy, just get it together, bro. Then that's all I got to say about Jimmy on that right there. Next
and how do you think Boston fans feel about Kyrie?
Oh, well.
Let's keep it a buck. This dude, this nigga's out here in Hollywood shooting movies with Little Rail and them talking about Uncle Buck or Uncle Drew. Yo, we had a chance. We had a chance to win one with him. This nigga he's all bucked up, and then he out there shooting movies. That's why Boston can't stand that dude. That's why.
I thought
they were brought here for you to bring us a title, and look at what you did. You would have ran out of there with. Well, I don't care about the money. I mean, let them use for all their money, but it's like we about rings in Boston. Same way you about rings in Miami. Same way you about rings in New York. It's about rings. You don't care about none other stuff.
Yeah. Good point. Good point on that. The next question I got is coming from Heat Nation. Also, Bob Z followed up with another question. Bob Z says, as a Boston Celtics fan, what impact does Jrue Holiday add to your team?
Boy, you know who I was talking. I think you and I having this conversation. He's our Dennis Rodman. Our Dennis Rodman.
Nice.
Whoa, hold up. So you comparing Jrue Holiday to Dennis Rodman, or you just saying his impact to your team is
just a pinch? I'm not gonna say he ain't out there grabbing us 40 rebounds, But I'm saying he do the dirty work. He do the dirty work. Drew Holiday do the dirty work.
I agree with that.
You do the dirty work. And that's what Rodman was all about. Rodman was about dirty work. See, I heard some dude say Rodman couldn't score. Rodman could have scored anytime he wanted to because no one thought he could score. Go look at Rodman's numbers. The dude shot mad threes and they were wet.
Yeah.
Rodman's job was two things: rebound the ball, get it to Jordan or get it to Isaiah, and then what? Get the other team so frustrated that they can't play.
Yeah.
He don't do that. But as far as defense, come on, man. That dude, he'll shut you down. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. I got a prediction for Game 5, but I ain't gonna say it yet. But I'm saying,
yeah,
I think
that
really
we're gonna have the predictions coming up towards the end. So hold on to that. Hold on to that. LP, did you have something you wanted to add on to that?
Yeah. No, I just think Drew Holiday, man, like Nez said, man, he's that guy that's just gonna he's gonna do all the stuff that other cats don't want to do. I mean, you know, he's just he's not gonna score a lot of points, but he's capable of scoring a lot of points. He'll put his nose in there, get rebounds, he'll score. He's gonna make the right plays. He makes winning plays. That's the thing. He makes winning plays that contribute to the team winning. That's what Drew Holiday does. So to the point of Nez, Rodman, Rodman could always, and he always said he could score. He just chose not to score. But if he had set his mind to score, he could score. But he was on teams where he didn't really need to score. So he, like Nez said, he just focused on two things: playing defense and rebounding. That's it. Defense and rebounding. That was it. But he could score.
That was pretty much his only role and his only job, defensive rebound. But go ahead, continue.
And then I want to go to an early point with the Porzingis. I didn't get to chime in on that because, you know, being the Knicks did draft him. I think what he does bring to the Celtics, though, when he's healthy, he definitely, even though this is a new age and big guys are shooting threes, he can score because in that game 1, he really set the tone for them. He did. But he will block shots, though, and will rebound. And a lot of those lobs that Dallas like to do, they're eliminating all of that shit. Game 1 and 2, that's their big thing, is getting, you know, about 8-10 points a game off lobs. Just, you know, they look for that. 10 points a game off lobs. They eliminated that game 1 and 2. They got some last night. But again, I just think it's a fluke game. Boston just wasn't with it. They didn't come in ready or whatever it was. They thought Dallas. They should have known Dallas was going to lay down, but whatever they thought, they didn't come to play. But I doubt Game 5 would go like that. But nah, Porzingis brings a lot when he's healthy. You know, even though they have played majority without him for the most of the season, but when he's in there, though, he's definitely. Jaylen Brown said in the press conference, he said we're a different team when he's in the game, and they are. So,
man, you got a 7'3" unicorn that can shoot threes. I mean, I would think that any team would be a different team with this guy in the game. So,
and he can rebound too, and he can block shots. So he does
shots, rebound. Yeah, he's
No, that's the thing with Boston, man. Those guys play defense, and what's his name? Luka was saying this. He said we haven't seen a defense like this all year. He's used to getting double. Boston doesn't double. They do man-to-man defense, and I love that. They don't double. They stay on their guy. They trust their defenders that, hey, you're going to stay in front of your guy, and that's what's been shaking Dallas. They're so used to getting double, teams double. Yeah. So he can get somebody open or for a lob or something like that. That's how those lobs come about when you double. And that's what I'm saying. Boston's shut all that shit down, and they're just doing man-to-man defense. That's giving Dallas the problem. They don't know what to do with that man-to-man defense. That's killing them. I mean, but you know,
Boston has the luxury of having 3 of the best perimeter defenders in the game. You got Jaylen Brown, you got Derek White, and then you got Jrue Holiday. 3 guys that don't require help on defense. And then you got Big Porzingis when he's going at the 7'3" in the lane. That's like an elite defense, just right there, just based off of that. So I could see what they're doing. Next question is from my man Ramon. Ramon has this question for you, Nez. And this question is: Do you think Boston would be 1 win away from the finals if they face healthy teams on the way to get here? I guess speaking of, Cleveland Cavs not having Donovan Mitchell healthy for the latter point of the series, and then they beat up on Indiana Pacers without Halliburton being healthy for the latter point of the series. And then, of course, now playing and facing the Dallas Mavericks with Luka hobbled with his knee or his leg or whatever's going on with him. I guess the question is trying to say, do you think that they would still be in the position that they're in right now, having played all of these teams healthy?
If we weren't slaves, would we?
I know it's one of those coulda, woulda.
I don't know.
But you know, this is what the nation is asking, so I gotta ask.
Yeah, man. I know. I respect Miami Nation. I appreciate it, man. I mean, man, I don't know, man. I mean, you know,
it's hard to say, you know. If I hit the lottery last week,
if Snoop Dogg didn't smoke weed, would Doggy Style album be that dope? Like, I mean, what are we talking about here? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I mean, because everyone likes to say that. Everyone likes to say, "Oh, Boston had this easy road." Like, they still had to go out there. They still had to suit up. They still had to score buckets. They still had to get beat up. Still they get hit. You know what I mean? I mean, listen, if New York, in my opinion, New York would have been, you know, y'all would have been much further if y'all were healthy. But once again, that's just how things work. You know what I mean? Like, this is how things work. I mean, would I love to have Porzingis healthy? Yeah. We're doing it without him. Every team should be able to buck up. Every team should be able to buck up. Buck up. Yeah. I'm sorry. How much do y'all make? How much money do y'all make? You give the three of us, listen, how much is the littlest pay? Like the dudes that ride the bench, how much they make a year? They make like what, L? Like what? 60? What? Buck 20, 120,000?
The NBA
no, about 1.5 million, man. League minimum is 1.5.
Yeah, the league minimum, according to, it's 1.1 million. That's the league minimum, 1.1 million. In the 90s, and when we were watching, it used to be 500K. Now these boys is making a whole million, $1 million to sit on the bench and do nothing.
They could give the three of us contracts. They could give the three of us contracts where all of us spend. We show up for all the games, but we got to do some games. So some games y'all wear a Boston uniform, and some games we go wear a New York uniform, and some games we go wear a Miami uniform. Yeah. But we get to travel and all that. You're trying to tell me that the three of us. You're trying to tell me that the three of us. I would be calling you, be like, "Yo, it's 5 a.m. Let's go hit the gym." It wouldn't be a problem. We would hit the gym, even though we know we're not playing. We would get in the best shape. We got the best trainers, the best doctors, we're eating the best food. Not to mention all the other stuff, the hoes and all the other stuff. But I mean, let's talk about the business, bruh. You're supposed to be like, okay, he ain't playing. So what? Who's next? That's why I love my Patriots so much, because it was always about who's up next. Okay, Gronk's out. We won 2 Super Bowls without Gronk. We won 2 Super Bowls without Gronk. We didn't win it without Brady, but we won it without certain players. That's how the game's supposed to be played.
That next man up mentality.
If some people are hurt, they got to step up.
Well, see, that's the
man up.
Well, see, that's my bad, brother Noopsy. That's the thing. That's Tom Thibodeau's mindset. You know, like I said earlier. In the playoffs, the Knicks were the only team with the most injuries on the starting lineup, more than any other team. We had OG out, we had Mitch out, and people forgot we had Randall out. And then later on, you know, toward the end, Josh Hart and Brunson all go out. Nobody had that in the league. So, but still, injuries you can only withstand so much, especially when it's the stars. So it's next man mentality, and I'm just proud of us how we still were able to compete with the whole next man mentality, and still, you know, like Nez said, and I believe this, if we were healthy, we would have been playing the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Final. Now, I'm not saying we were going to, I'm not saying, I still picked this, you know, this brother Noopsy, I picked the Celtics to beat the Knicks, even if we had made it there, because I'm a realistic Knicks fan, and the Celtics are just deeper, but we would have been playing them easily if we would have been healthy. And that's the thing with OG. He can guard all 5 positions. That's why he's so valuable, man. OG can guard all 5 positions. The Knicks are going to show him love. I'm sure in the offseason, give him a big deal. But
no problem.
That's my take on it. That's my take, basically.
Well, even more of a reason, since everybody wants to poke their chest out about their culture and their coach, even more of a reason why I sent a special salute and shout out to Coach Spo. Coach Spoelstra is known for getting the most out of players that nobody expects to be good. So to your point, LP, with, okay, well, if we would have been healthy, all of these guys were out. I guarantee you, though, the difference between Tibbs and Coach Spo in that same position with a completely dismantled roster or what have you. Coach Spo took a team with basically one all-star, because Jimmy Butler last year when we went to the finals was really the only – Bam Adebayo was really the only all-star player that we had. Tyler Hero didn't play. But lo and behold, Coach Spo ends up beating the number one team in the Milwaukee Bucks, then turning around and beating the New York Knicks, and then turning around beating the Boston Celtics, and then going to the conference and going to the NBA Finals. Now, we wasn't sitting up there saying, oh, well, Tyler Hero wasn't here. He wasn't healthy. He wasn't playing. And we just got a bunch of role players. But no coach is better at getting the next man mentality in their team is Coach Spoelstra. I look to my coach, Coach Spo. You never heard of a Max Strus before Coach Spo. You never heard of a Gabe Vincent before Coach Spo. You never heard of a Caleb Williams before Coach Spo. You never heard of any of these guys. He resurrected Kyle Lowry's career and made Kyle Lowry into an NBA Finals point guard again at his age. Coach Spo needs his flowers. So salute and shout out to Coach Spo for getting the most out of his team.
Yeah, I agree with you, Brother Noopsy. I'm not going to disagree with that at all. I think, like you said, because I had never heard those guys are playing above their skill set. No one knew who they were. And because of that, it got them big contracts with Cleveland and with the Lakers.
They got the bag.
So shout out to Spo. Those guys played above their skill set. They got paid and they moved on. So, yeah, absolutely, man. I'll give them credit on that. I really will.
Yeah, no doubt.
What's so funny, Ellen, Brother Lucy? We're talking real quick, bro. We're talking about professional players. We're talking about professional basketball players. You and I know at least 5 brothers out here that play on the course that like, man, you should have went pro, Jack. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know people like that, right? But they ain't gonna go pro. These niggas ain't gonna go pro. They drop 50 on us on the hoop court, and then picking up the 40, they just here's my 40. I didn't want to leave my 40 here. You know what I mean? And then they're going on, right? But we got guys that actually made it to the league. It's your job to be the next person up. It's your job to contribute. There should be no other mentality but to contribute. Kobe Bryant was drafted to who the first time he went there? Was he drafted? What did he get drafted to? Kobe was drafted to
Charlotte Hornet. Charlotte Hornet. It was Charlotte.
It was Charlotte. And he was like, you know what I mean? And so, I mean, like we understand, like, once again, we're talking about people of a different breed, man. It's the people that say hell nah, or the people you got to be like, well, that's, we got to watch out for them hell nah people.
Yeah, you definitely got to watch those. And just to your point, before we move on from this, Tim Hardaway Jr. is making $17 million a year for this season. And leading up to game 4, he was 0 for everything. I mean, he was 28 minutes and 0 for 8 in shooting. And I was wondering when he was going to wake up or what the deal was with Tim Hardaway Jr., but he finally decided to wake up in game 4. So I'm going to spare him the rod this time, but I was prepared to go in. I had like I was going to tear Tim Hardaway Jr. apart, especially since his pop played for my team. You know what? All right, fine. Yeah, I am going to go in. I'm going to go in a little bit. Let me go in a little bit. Tim Hardaway Jr.
Man, talk about that dude, man. He had disgrace to his daddy, man. You stepped it out of here, man.
Yo, brother,
0 points, 1 steal, 8 minutes. Game 2, Jason Kidd had enough. Did not play. DNP for game 2. Game 3, he gives you 3 rebounds, 0 for everything, 19 minutes, and minus 16 in the over under. So he's giving you minus 16 in the plus minus, and then he's making $18 million this year. Next year, he's set to make $16 million, and he's supposed to be the third scorer. You're supposed to be the third scorer. You watching Kyrie and Luka out here trying to carry y'all boys. You know the rest of your offense is not there. Derek Lively is not a legit scorer, and neither is Gafford. These are role players. So Tim Hardaway Jr., it's supposed to be you. Your dad is in the crowd. Your pops, Tim Hardaway, killer crossover in the Miami Heat and the Golden State Warriors. He's a Hall of Famer. And you out here stinking it up like that in front of your pops and in front of your team. Your team is about to get swept on your home court, and that's what it took for you to show up, and you making $18 million, and you play with Luka and Kyrie, so every shot is wide open. You ain't getting double teamed. They ain't even double teaming Luka and Kyrie. What's your excuse, Tim Hardaway Jr.? It can't be because your dad didn't take the time. You had the best schools. You went to you had the best training facilities. You grew up in a mansion. You went to the best possible schools, high schools, colleges. You did everything. You had everything handed to you and given to you, and you come into the league. This is your first NBA Finals. Your dad ain't even make it to the NBA Finals, and now he's in the crowd watching you sneaking it up like that for $18 million. I guarantee you this is your last season with the Dallas Mavericks. I don't see you winning in Dallas Mavericks. I don't see you playing for the Dallas Mavericks next year. I think Luka's going to go to the front office and demand that they move you because you're not getting the job done. You're not getting it done, fam. And I'm sick of this. I'm upset because you carry the Hardaway name. Tim Hardaway is my favorite Miami Heat player of all time. So how are you going to disrespect the family name? I'm done. I'm going to get off my soapbox. That's all I had to say about that.
Go ahead, Al.
Yo, I want to add on to that, though. And that's what I was telling. I'm telling Brother Noopsy, Nez, I was telling him at the beginning of this finals that he would be the difference maker. If Dallas was going to win this thing, he had to show up. And I don't give him no credit yesterday because they had such a big lead, and he's getting all those points with a big lead. I want to see him get those points when it's a close game.
Meaningful minutes.
You could be comfortable like that. So, yeah, he was scoring all smooth yesterday. They were smashing them, right? So it's easy to do that when you're smashing somebody. And then also, too, Brother Noopsy, Tim Hardaway did win he was on that championship team. His jersey retired in Miami. So he did get a ring. He did play the finals with Miami, Tim Hardaway Sr. He was on that team, whatever team that was, I thought. Or no. Did he get a ring or no? Did Tim Hardaway?
Tim Hardaway never won a ring. Tim Hardaway never made it to the NBA Finals. Not senior.
His jersey
is retired in the rafters of Miami. Yes, he is retired. His jersey is hanging up in the rafters. So he's always going to have a special place. Always have a special place with the Miami Heat organization. But I just had to get that little piece off and get that off. Like we always do about this time, this is my favorite part of the show. This is one of my favorite parts of the Sports Time Zone show. So we're gonna get now. I'm gonna tell you, LP, you might be all right with this history fact, but I know Nez might not like this one too much because it's pertaining to a rival team. But anyway, I gotta do it anyway. On this very day, what is it? June? What day is it? LP? June 15th. June 15th. Yep. On this day, June 15th, in 2001, on this day, the Los Angeles Lakers won their 13th NBA championship with a 108-96 win over Allen Iverson and the Philadelphia 76ers. Kobe Bryant in that game, 26 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. Shaquille O'Neal in that game, 29 points, 13 rebounds, 5 blocks. That was a historic performance by the LA Lakers to win their 13th championship, to stay on par with your Boston Celtics, Nez. What memories, if any, do y'all have, or what do y'all remember from that final series with the LA Lakers taking out Allen Iverson's Philly Sixers, from either team, the Sixers or the Lakers? What do y'all remember the most from that series? I'll start with you, LP, and then Nez. Since this is your rival team, I'll let you fester a little bit and then give us your response. Go ahead, LP.
Yo, man, I remember 2001, man. I mean, the Philly, they had the Aaron McKee and all those cats.
Yep. Larry Brown, the coach.
Larry Brown's the coach, man. And AI, you know, he had that good game one in LA, and that's that game he did the walkover on Tyrone Lue and hit that jumper. And then, you know, they stole game one. They didn't win another game after that. They basically got swept after that because like won 4 straight and celebrated on Philly's home floor. But nah, man, that's what I remember, man. I think AI had like 40 something in that game when he stepped over Tyrone Lue. So
yeah, he went off. He went off. And ironically, that was the Lakers' only loss in that entire playoffs. The Lakers swept their way to the finals. And if they would have won that, they would have swept through the entire finals, which has never been done before. But that was their only loss in that final. So yeah, excellent. But go ahead, Nez. What do you remember from 2001 finals with the Lakers versus Philly Sixers?
You know, I mean, let's just talk about it. I mean, AI is an anomaly. I mean, there will never be another Allen Iverson, even when they got it. I mean, yeah, I mean, like, I really think the whole practice thing was very misconstrued, but you can't misconstrue things in front of the media because they take the media takes things at face value. Oh, they're trying to tell me that this Negro doesn't show up for practice.
Right.
Let's get him out. Right? And it's like that wasn't what he was saying. He was saying that, yeah, I practice, but it's more so about the game than the practice because you all aren't at the practices. You're at the games.
Right.
I mean, bro, people off that team person, right? Other than AI, it's AI, Eric Snow. Who else?
McKee, Eric Snow.
Who? McKee, and then who else?
Was it Mutombo? Was Mutombo on that team?
Mutombo, I think, may have been on that team. Maybe. I think he may have been on that team. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could have been. We don't know where Mutombo was. But once again, AI didn't have a stacked team. AI didn't have a team.
Boys. He carried
that team. There was no one else. I mean, who's covering Shaq? Who's covering Ori? Who's covering all these guys, man? Like the Lakers, and once again, they had Philly J. And what was he running? That triangle. So I mean, like we're talking about, right? You know what I mean? So we're talking about like he was more than what the media tried to make him to be. We knew as you know, black people, we knew how special AI was. We knew that because we watched him in Georgetown. We watched him in Georgetown. He was there, right? So it's like we knew, but then like the guy didn't have nobody, for God's sake. He didn't have nobody. He didn't have nobody with him.
Yeah.
You put the rest of those 4 out here now, they be out there getting killed.
Yeah. I say that he's done more with less talent than anybody else that I can remember in history as far as superstars. And he won the MVP, smallest player in NBA history to win an MVP trophy. But going back to the Lakers, I will say this also, in my opinion, still to me, I mean, people talk about Kyrie and Luka, people talk about Tatum and Brown, they talk about Steph and Clay, you know, as far as greatest offensive duos that the game has ever seen. Yeah. But to me, I still got Shaq and Kobe, man. Those guys together when they were at their height and they were both at their prime and playing in their primes, I put Shaq and Kobe up against any one of those other duos as far as offensively. And I just don't think they get enough. They don't get enough of a look when it comes to that. Because I've been hearing a lot of the Kyrie and Luka and a lot of the Tatum and Brown and the Steph and Clays in all of these little discussions. But to me, Shaq and Kobe, offensively, they were unstoppable. Like you had a perimeter player at an elite level, and then you had a down low presence, the most dominant force to ever touch a basketball down low in the paint. Combination of that to me, I just thought was, you know, too much to overcome offensively. Go ahead, Nez, jump in.
You know, Brother Newsy, I want to ask a question to both of y'all because LP, it's so good to see you, man. I ain't seen you in so long, and Brother Newsy, once again, I want to tell y'all thank you, man. But I want to ask y'all both the question, man. Why is it that they wipe their butts with Kobe Bryant? Why? Why? Like, bro, you said something so valuable. Shaq and Kobe are, bro, Shaq and Kobe, there's no one better than that duo. Like I was gonna say, what about Kale, Boston nigga? What about McHale and Bird? No, shut up.
McHale and
Never,
Bird,
never. No one ever. Once again, we're talking about
LeBron and D Wade. I didn't even put LeBron and D Wade in there because to me, Shaq and Kobe is just on another elite level.
Kobe are on a higher level, man. For real, man. That was probably the greatest duo that you're gonna see. Maybe next to Magic and Kareem, maybe, but that's it, man. That might be a fight for that one, but I still probably give it to Shaq and Kobe over Magic and Kareem. To be honest, I would. Yeah.
I'm definitely with you on that.
Why do you think that they act like this kid never played basketball? Like, I watch the ESPN sometimes, and I listen to the way they like besmirch this kid's name, and I'm like, yo, do people realize that Kobe Bryant, like, once again, Kobe's last few seasons, he didn't have a squad either. It was reversed. Like, it was like, the last few seasons, he didn't have no squad. He didn't really have a lot of people over there.
He didn't.
The last game the dude 80. I mean, what are we talking about here? They're talking about this dude like he never played ball. Like Kobe just showed up out of nowhere. And it's like,
Nah.
The disrespect.
Talk about him, and I hate the way they don't talk about him. Very disrespectful. Very disrespectful. That's why ESPN can go to hell.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Go ahead, LP.
Yo, I'm with you too, Nez. And I also want to make a point of that 2001 finals because we know Kobe's from Philly, right? He went to Lower Merion High School, so that finals meant a lot to him. Right. He was coming back home, and AI was the guy in Philly, but Kobe was like the homegrown kid from Philly, so it was like a lot of emotional stuff. And even Kobe spoke about that because he was getting love. I mean, they weren't giving him no love when he came to Philly as a Laker, but they still
booed him.
Yeah, they booed him. Yeah, they were. Yeah, but they would booed him. It was all AI, but that was driving Kobe even more though, because he's like, I'm the hometown guy. I know AI is the dude, but I'm gonna come and just kill over here. And he was just murdering in that finals, man. He just going. I think they won 3 in a row, right? 2000, 2001, 2002. I think, right?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
They took us out for that last one. They took the Celtics out.
They did. That last one, when Ron Artest hit that 3 and blew kisses up at the crowd like Ron Artest. Like, shout out to Meta, Ron Artest, Queensbridge, New York, in the building.
He's a Queens dude?
He's a Queens dude. He's a Queens dude. And that team that Kobe took to beat the Orlando Magic in the finals, that team was probably the least loaded team that he's ever had. I mean, it was him and a bunch of plumbers and architects. And, I mean, they Slava Medvedenko, for crying out loud. Slava Medvedenko.
They had number 16. What's his name? They had to make him. They had to toughen him up. That center. God, what's his name?
Andrew Bynum. That you talking about?
Not Andrew Bynum. The other guy, the European player.
Pau Gasol.
Pau Gasol. There you go.
When Kobe had to punch him in the chest, like to make him. Kobe was like, "You too soft." Boom, punch him in the chest.
Kobe said he's soft. Yo, you got to get toughened up.
Yeah. So Kobe did a lot with the little also. So salute to Kobe in that history moment, with the Lakers beating the Philadelphia 76ers that year. So shout out, we always here at the Sports Times and we all about history. We're about learning our history and knowing where the game has came from to understanding where we are now. We got a lot of young viewers who didn't get a chance to see that. So y'all go on YouTube and y'all Google that 2001 NBA Finals and you watch Kobe and Allen Iverson duel it out in that epic finals. Now, the 2-minute drill. We had the last 2 minutes of the show, so we're going to run our 2-minute drill real quick, and then we're going to give our predictions for Game 5. I can't wait to hear what Nez has to say about his Game 5 prediction, LP. But real quick, NFL football, the Miami Dolphins have recently signed Calais Campbell to a contract. Calais Campbell last with the Atlanta Falcons. He is a 6-time Pro Bowler, a little bit older than my liking that I would like a defensive end, but he's still very productive. He could still bring a lot of smoke and we need help on the defensive end. We gave up a lot of defensive firepower over this last offseason, so hopefully the Dolphins will continue to add around Calais Campbell. Also, Charles Barkley, commentator for TNT, Charles Barkley announces that he will retire from TV after 2024-25 season. There's word that the TNT will no longer carry NBA games. The NBA just signed a new contract with, I believe it's ABC and also Amazon and also a few other stations as well. But TNT's contract is about to be up. So this coming year, this next year coming up, will be the last season that we'll see the inside the NBA team on TNT with Barkley and Shaq and Ernie and all of those boys. So salute to them. If y'all got any words on that, anything you want to drop towards Barkley or the TNT crew, LP or Nez?
Yo, I mean, man, I've been watching that shit since about 99. Yo, that's when that kind of kicked off, man. So, I mean, I've been watching it for years, man. Ernie and I mean, that's before Shaq, because Shaq was still playing, but Barkley was just coming out of playing. And then Kenny, my man, Kenny, that's another Queens cat.
Queens, New York. Yeah,
Queens. Shout out to Kenny. But man, it's gonna be sad to see it go, man. I mean, I like that segment. I like that show. You know, I grew up, on that show. So damn, it's. But yeah, I heard Barkley say at the end of that Mavericks and Boston game that he wanted to be the first to say he was this next year be his last year, and he's just gonna hand the baton off to whoever, Steve Smith or Jamal Crawford or whoever. He said, but damn. So I just want to be clear, brother. They're not gonna. That's gonna be it for TNT. That's it after next season.
That's it. I mean, unless the NBA re-signs a deal with them between now and next season, it looks like this is it. It looks like they're parting ways, and it's gonna be the final season with the NBA on TNT. So everything's gonna be turned over to either ESPN or it's ESPN, Amazon, and NBC and ABC. Those are the four networks that is going to really be taking over. Amazon is trying to get that bag, man. Amazon, they're doing NFL games. Now they're doing NBA games. They do college. Like Amazon is they about to turn up and really start to turn this whole thing around as far as sports go. When it comes to that.
They're about to ruin everything. Amazon going to ruin everything. They're going to ruin it.
It feels like what real quick, why do you think it's going to be ruined? Oh, we lost Nez. We'll get him back in there. We'll keep it moving. No, but I get it. I understand a little bit of what he's saying about how it's going to be ruined. I just wanted to hear him elaborate. But anytime that things get monetized to this degree, I think now people are going to start to have to pay for an Amazon subscription. You're going to have a Prime subscription in order to watch certain games. Now, that part I think is not good for the game, but it's more money for the NBA, so I can see why they would want to do it. But for the fan, the average fan, it's like everything is going to start going up now. The cost of everything is going to start going up. So
and that's why they suck, brother Noomsy. That's why they suck. Because we know people are still trying to. We got Thursday. Are you crazy? It's madness.
Oh
man.
yeah, the
it's
Thursday
madness.
night. Yeah,
Jeff Bezos.
Thursday. Yeah, that was the experiment. They tried to do a little experiment with Thursday night football, and they tried to throw the experiment just to see how it will work on certain Thursday night games on Amazon. And I guess they got so much money that they're like, oh, well, it's working. We're getting paid. So let's do it with basketball. Let's do it with so we'll see how that goes. How that turns out, whatever. The U.S. Olympics, the United States Olympic swimming trials are underway. Last time I watched Olympic swimming, it was when my man Michael Phelps was out there winning all them gold medals. But this year's swimming trials is about to be underway in Indianapolis today, as a matter of fact. Katie Ledecky is one of the names to watch. From what I understand, she has 10 Olympic gold medals already. She is, like, I believe, 27, 28 years old. So by Olympic standards, she's a little bit older. But we look forward to seeing that. What Olympic events are y'all looking forward to checking out? Me personally, I like the track and field. I love the basketball. and then sometimes the swimming as well. Those are my 3 main events that I kind of get into. What are you guys into? Nez, we'll start with you. What you looking forward to with the Olympics?
The girls volleyball, is that a real one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta see them booties. I gotta see the booties. I want to see the booty. I want to see the booty, the sweat, the sand. I want to see all that. You know what I mean? I'm not really concerned about the hoop teams no more because I don't know, man. I mean, you watch the Dream Team. You watch when Kobe was on there, and then you just don't. I just think that a lot of the guys that are on the new Dream Team, they just don't have the nuts. You know what I mean? Like basketball, like sports are about nuts. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I mean? Like New York had nuts. Oakley, Stocks, y'all had nuts. Heat, y'all had Hardaway, Likely, you had Monzo, you got Pat Riley, nuts. Yeah. I don't know, man. Anytime LeBron James shows up on something, I'm like, oh, this is going to be nutless. You know what I mean? Like LeBron, let's let Slovenia win. You know what I mean? Yeah, girls, women, ball. I need booty.
No, I definitely with you. I'm looking forward to that as well. LP, what you looking forward to? What events are you getting into with the family watching the Olympics?
Yo, man, I think it's usually the same thing. The basketball, the track and field, and I didn't think about the volleyball, but I forgot. Does tennis got one too?
Tennis. Tennis is gonna be pretty. I think Coco is in it. Coco Golf is gonna be in there.
I was always looking for when she was playing because that was the first player. Boxing. But boxing too. But yeah, man, probably just the I would say the track and field and then the basketball.
Those are the main ones. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that as well. Also, for all of you gamers out there, PS5 or Xbox, NCAA 25 will be dropping July 19th. This is the first college football game on PlayStation in years. I think it's been over a decade since they've had a college football game on PlayStation. So I'm definitely gonna cop it because I'm a gamer. I love Madden, 2K, and all of that. So I'm looking forward to the NCAA. And also, we're gonna be doing a review right here on the Sports Time Zone. Yours truly and my man TZ Dave. So y'all make sure y'all lay around for that and y'all tune in on the day that the game drops. We will be going live, testing out the game, playing it, seeing it how it goes. Of course, I'm gonna pick my Miami Hurricanes. I want to see how them boys look on a PS5 game because I haven't played college ball in quite some time. So I'm looking forward to that real quick. And also, so game 5 of the NBA Finals is right around the corner. When is that, Nez? Is that tomorrow or Monday? Monday's game. I'm going to start off with my prediction for the game, and then we'll go around the world, and you can explain your predictions because we getting close to quitting time here. But I'm going to say this: Dallas Mavericks gave a valiant effort in Game 4 to get it back to Boston, just to even get it to Boston, to get it off their home court. I think that was their moral victory right there, not getting swept on their home court. Dirk was in the crowd. The crowd was ecstatic. Everybody was out of their minds. And I think Dallas, that was the best version of Dallas that we're going to see. I think Boston goes back home. However, they regroup a little bit. They get back to some of the things that were working for them. I don't know if Porzingis plays or not. That's going to be huge. That's going to be a huge factor. If Porzingis can't go on Monday, then there's a chance Dallas could steal one. But if Porzingis is there, or if he's just a fraction of himself, I like Boston Celtics to close it out and win the series on their home court. As much as I don't want to see them celebrating, I don't want to see all the green confetti coming down and all the leprechauns and all of that madness that's going to be going on. And they're going to tear the streets of Boston apart. Tear the streets of Boston.
Yes, they are. Someone will get killed on that night. Someone will get killed.
Most definitely something like that will go down. But yeah, so that's my prediction. I think Boston wins it and closes and ends out the series. I'll go to you, LP, next. What's your prediction? And then we'll close out with Nez on this one.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Yo, brother Noopsy, man, I believe I said all along I picked Boston in 6, but it looked like it's going to be early now. Boston in 5. So I'm staying consistent with what I said from the beginning. I just think, and you know, I'm a New Yorker. We don't fuck with Boston at all. We don't
I know. Trust me. Neither do we. But you know, we gotta.
I'm not cheering for Boston. I'm just being a realistic NBA fan and just kicking back. My Knicks ain't in it, so I'm just looking at it from an NBA perspective. That's it. I just think Boston has just been the best team all year, man. 64 wins, 18 losses, almost 70 wins. I mean, they were undefeated on the road. I mean, they had a great playoff run. I know we could talk about the injuries and all that, but like Nez said, you still got to get on the court, play these games, whether injuries or not. So shout out to Boston, man. I just think they're the deeper team. Those guys play one-on-one defense. They don't got to do double team. And I just think Roxbury's gonna be hot. Dorchester gonna be hot. The whole hood's gonna be hot in Boston. Cats gonna be excited down. So they're gonna get that 18th banner. I think Boston's gonna win it, and I don't see them coming back to the state of Texas. I really don't, man. I think that's it. They're not gonna come back. Then they're gonna wrap it up right there in Boston, Game 5.
Okay, I like that. I like that pick. I can't be mad at that. Go ahead, Nez. You say what to that?
I know y'all been noticing I've been changing hats the whole time, but I want to make sure I put on this hat. To tell you the leather, lucky, whatever.
I see you.
You know what's funny, fellas, is that I'm so torn about Boston because I know the city and I hate the city because of the racism. You know what I mean? And I hate the city because of what it how it treated us and all of that stuff, right? But it's like same thing with UL. I said 6. I said Celtics in 6, right? And a part of me still says that, right? But then I seen a number this morning where it was like the 3 teams that like kind of were 3-0 and then lost that big one and then came back to the bean and then took it over. And it was like the 08. It was the 08 Celtics with Garnett and them. And then it might have been 2. I can't remember that. I was trying to grab my other phone, but I'm on the phone. But it was like 2 other ones that had Bird on them. And I was like, you know what? I was like, they'd be bittersweet to win it in the city, right? But then I started, I'm like, I know they're not going to they're not going to give Kyrie a title, okay? Kyrie is not going to get a championship. And I want to make this real quick. Here's why. One, you started posting the Israelite stuff, right? Them heathens don't want to hear that stuff. You can't be posting stuff about telling black people who they really are. You can't do that. And then, right? But then the niggas are Muslim. But see, these people, they know what's going on. So sit back like, I don't even know what he's talking about. And then he comes to Boston, which pissed me off. He sages. He walks up with sage like fruitcake to step on Lucky, which I thought was hilarious. But you got to realize, though, like they're like, oh, he's stepping on us, right? He's stepping on. You can't be stepping on a white man. He's stepping on us. You're gonna step on us. So then it's like, so I honestly believe I'm with you, L, that it's over Monday. It's over, and it's gonna. And a part of me says it'll be by 6, but then like my gut says, but then like no, that's not my gut. My gut says 6, but then there's a part of me that's like it's gonna be a blowout. Like I really think that like Dallas will come out hot, and then all of a sudden, by halftime, so as we losing, we're down by like 12 or something stupid, and then all of a sudden, because like we're kind of better after halftime. And then all of a sudden, it's like JB and the boys come out, and it's just all of a sudden, I think we beat them by like 15. So I think we close out Monday in the Bean, and I'll be sitting back here drinking my Celtics hat on. I couldn't find my Ray Allen jersey. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. I mean, I want it to be over. I want it to be over. I'm sorry, I want it to be over. I'm done.
You ready for it to be over, which I think definitely. I think it may be. I mean, I think Dallas will give a strong, valiant effort, just like they gave in Game 5 because they don't want to get eliminated. So you're going to get their best punch from here on out. They're going to give you everything they have, but I just don't know that it's going to be enough. So again, just like you gentlemen, I have Boston closing it out. Now, this real quick, before we close this all the way out, I'm about to send some shots. I'm about to send some shots like a old sugar daddy up in a young girl's nightclub. I'm about to send some shots. Anybody, and this is for whoever feel like they want to smoke. Anybody who disagrees with me or disagrees with any of my takes, you always have an open invite to the smoke. I don't duck the smoke. That's anybody. That's friends, family, homies, associates, male, females, home team, visiting team. Like LL Cool J said, female rappers too. I don't give a boo. Yeah, anybody who wants to smoke. Some people feel comfortable sitting behind keyboards and sitting behind a computer and want to send these shots and go back and forth. See, I don't do all of the back and forth. I'll go back and forth a little bit with you online, but this is what I do. This is what I do right here. So anybody who has any issue with anything that I'm saying and want to get at me, you get at me right here. Come and bring yourself right here and bring the smoke. Otherwise, shut your blood clot. Man, I want to hear none of the bomber clot foolishness right now. If you have nothing else to say, then just say that. Or you can stay comfortably behind your little computer and your laptop and keep on sending shots. But this is what I do. This is what I do right here. So if you want to see me, come see me right here. I'm open to any and all for the smoke. So anybody holler. Once again, I want to send a special thank you. Yeah, I want to send a special thank you and shout out to my man LP for joining us once again. I also want to send a special thank you and shout out to my man Nez in here. We're going to see how the finals turn out. We're going to see how everything turns out. Y'all make sure y'all lay around for it. Y'all continue to show support, love, like, share, and subscribe. Anybody who needs any kind of merch or anything, make sure y'all get at any of my people that I put in the comments. Other than that, this is yours truly, brother Noomsi. This is the Sports Time Zone, LP and Nez. Any final words y'all want to throw out there before we close it out?
I want to tell you both, thank you, gentlemen, for having me on the show. I really appreciate it, man. You let a brother come on here and talk his ish. I appreciate you, man. Bless.
Of course, no doubt. Thank you for joining us. LP, send us home, baby.
Oh, man. Again, brother Doopy, thanks for having your brother come on the show again. I'm loving it, man. I'm glad I got to bring my brother Nez on here. It was good to see Nez, man, get that Boston perspective. And, hey, man, let's see a good game Monday, man. And I think Boston's going to finish it off Game 5.
They
so
better.
We're going to see what happens. We're going to see. And, hey, we might do a follow-up, so make sure y'all tune in next week on Tuesday, but we're going to have a closeout and a follow-up. We might bring my man Nez back. See if he's available. We'll see how we can do it. If not,
I'm free.
We're okay, so we got you. We got you locked in. LP, we know you on the weekend, so we'll see you next week, Saturday. If you want to join us, feel free. But, yeah, thanks again for joining the Sports Time Zone podcast. Only podcast bringing you two different generations of sports takes. So salute to everybody. Bless.
Peace.
Peace. Peace.